God damn. Shit won't even hit go live. Yo. Sorry for the motherfucking wait, gang. Hopefully my headphones and shit working like they should. Hopefully the headphones working like they should. Sorry for the hold up. I'm gonna get my guy on here in a couple minutes, give him a couple more minutes to tap in. While we doing that, we shouting out the comment P push around this bitch. It is. So the brother be bringing on today. This nigga stand on his own. He stand on his own. Goddamn, to keep it 100. I don't know how we found each other on Instagram, but he an old soul. You know how we say in the South, we're an old soul. He younger than me, but he got an old soul. He ain't new to this shit. We really the same age. God damn it. If we really want to put it out there like that. It is. But nonetheless, hold up. Let it be known. So I'm finna bring him on in a minute. Wait for him to tap into the live, y'all. But nonetheless, of course, if you're on Instagram, you know we on YouTube. Like I said, I want to bring more people onto the YouTube. So I'm expressing that and I'm showing that if there's any divine feminine energy out there that wants to join, that wants to start coming onto the YouTube channel, obviously first we'll chop it up, you know what I'm saying? Make sure, you know, the vibe is right. You know what I'm saying? Bring the vibe on to the show. Guys, bring your ass on to the show. Or the YouTube channel, whatever the fuck you want to call this shit here. I really don't. You know, we just talking. You know what I'm saying? So in tonight's conversation, we'll go just like a fucking conversation. And we're gonna talk about decoding the fucking matrix, right? From different aspects. As you know, I stand or I move directly from the non-dual aspect. Pure consciousness. If you're new to my channel or you're true to my channel, that is one thing that you would know. So I'm sorry for that delay. We supposed been on here a couple minutes before, but you know, sometimes shit happens, right? Sometimes shit happens. But we finna get this motherfucker going. While we waiting on my guy to join, cause I ain't really had no topic for myself. We were just gonna flow off of whatever the fuck we flow off of. Let's see if I can find something just goddamn. Probably not. Matter of fact, yeah, man. So we can go off of that topic I was talking about today, like the day and age of feel good spirituality, like, and that's how I had to shout out Brother Panic with that one, cause like Brother Panic said this shit, right? You niggas and bad bitches or bad divine baddies, you want to hear. How's my audio coming through? Am I breaking up though, y'all? Let me know how my audio coming through. Cause y'all know how my mic get to crackling and shit. But there's a lot of feel good spirituality. I've been getting a lot of like, I don't know what the fuck been going on TikTok, but people been finding my shit on fucking TikTok and getting some of the wildest comments. Not nothing too crazy, but just getting some of the wildest comments. You know, and TikTok algorithm is typically better. That motherfucker literally goes out to people who don't follow you. Oh, Cosmic Puzzle P said the book just came in. In Rafe 636. What's happening, my brother? My dog? My fellow P pushing motherfucker. Make sure all the moose knuckles get in here today. If not, it's gonna be a great day regardless. But the feel good spirituality, man, it's like I always tell y'all, if we understand the mind, we understand the illusion. We understand the illusion. That means we understand the mind. The 5 elements. This is all a play of the 5 elements. When you understand, it's the mixture of the 5 elements. I always Give a shout out to Travis Majors for putting me on to this book. For putting me on to this book here. Talk with Shooty. Get a real deal understanding of the elements. Do you understand the mind? And the trick of the mind is to get you to do some shit that make you feel good. Give me something to make me feel good. Give me something to make me feel good. That's what people want. And you thinking, or people seem to be thinking like they become more advanced because they're getting shit, or they don't even notice the shit that's making them feel good. Only. And there's a difference. Because you get information that makes you feel superior or more divine than others, or like you on this level and these people on this level. Ultimately, because the difference is those who know and those who just don't yet. And I say yet. That's the real difference. Yes, we can, amongst us right here, we can talk about, man, people don't really know shit and this and this and this and that. Yeah, we can talk on that common level, but if a person is emitting that from their character, they really have a feeling of superiority. Me, that I understand and do non-duality, there's no way that I could feel superior. That's contradictory, which we know the illusion is full of contradictions. But how could I be superior than somebody if I know there is no somebody? There's only self. Who the fuck am I higher than? Ultimately, talking from the cosmic principle standpoint, who the fuck could I be higher than? Let me turn my fan on, y'all. Hold up. Think about that. Like real shit. Who the fuck could you be higher than? There's a lingo we can run with and saying, though there are some who don't understand or who don't know, or those who are still asleep in the matrix. And that's what we're going to get into today. Those who may be asleep in the matrix, right? But what do we find out in the matrix? Neo was Mr. Anders. I mean, not Mr. Anders, Agent Smith. They're the same. There's no difference. It's the illusion of a difference. What the Oracle tell Neo? You're not here to make a decision. You already made the decision. You're here to figure out why. We're to figure out why. But to figure out why, we got to figure out who. Who's that who? Who the fuck am I? And if you've been watching this channel for a while, you understand that's what the non-dual perspective is about. It's not about figuring out all of, which we'll get into, with my day, with my guy when he comes on here, which we can learn that, we can know that. But what we ultimately get into is here to understand who is this I. That's the knowledge of the self. That's the knowledge of the self. The self, not myself. So the illusion, the ego tends to think that the more information I grasp, that I understand, that I can repeat. Not even just if I heard some shit from Brother Panic, whoever, or Bobby Hemming, whoever, and repeat that. Not just that shit. Even if I learn it on my own, I have these mystical experiences. That too is an illusion. Even though it's your personal experience, yes, it's good for that mind-body complex, but ultimately what's happening here? All of these are objects to the ultimate subject, which is the cosmic principle. Consciousness. All of that is an object to awareness. Cosmic Puzzle say, I already got my wheels turning. There is no superiority. What superiority? Who am I higher than? How could I be higher than them? If so, then there's a dualistic reality, which is why I brought that video up about motherfuckers talking about going to war or spiritual warfare. What spiritual warfare? For me, it is it's fine and dandy if that's not the case for everybody else. It's fine and dandy. If that's the case for everybody else, that's fine. But ultimately there is no war on the level to the point where you got to go out and fight something, or you got to duck and dodge from something. Ultimately it's just you. Ultimately it's just you. If you just join and hit that like button, y'all know I like to go to my boom. Because there are two kinds of knowledge to be acquired: the higher and the lower. When we talk about higher knowledge or higher learning, we learned from the movie of higher learning. We thinking that means I need to understand my ancestors. I need to understand what this society is doing to us. I think that's beginning stages. But that beginning stage knowledge quickly becomes the lower knowledge. That quickly becomes the lower knowledge. This is not an assault against it, but what this here is, and you know what? What I forgot to do, y'all? I gotta put my boy YouTube in the description. I probably have to go to what's her name and do that. I probably have to do that. Society of peace, 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 peace. But all of that knowledge quickly goes to lower knowledge. Once you start perceiving through certain veils, once certain veils start lifting up, there's two types of knowledge to be acquired: the higher and the lower. The highest of the highest knowledge is knowledge of the self. So while I felt like I was going through a journey, just like a lot of us have, a lot of us still proclaim to be. Because one guy told me, one dude told me on my TikTok, he was like, "This shit is trash. This is terrible. This is hood knowledge. This is hood knowledge, not good knowledge. This is hood advice, not good advice. Don't mix the G with the H." I said, "Damn." But people will, and what's the case of that? Because I understand the man. What's the case? Because the things that I was saying did not fit into his context. You see the world through your lenses of contexts. You see the world through your lens of belief. You see the world through your lens of concepts. So ultimately, automatically, systematically, if your mind is not set with these type of lenses, or if your eyes have too many lenses on them, you ain't gonna be able to see. You got 6 pair of glasses on. One is a yellow tint, one is a brown tint, one's a blue tint, one is a dark tint, one is a lighter tint. You ain't gonna be able to see what the fuck is being said here. So when I said the shit about having all of these goddamn big words being dropped and big words being used and all this and this and that, shit, you can understand the common English language. You know what I'm saying? You got a crazy ass word to describe fucking pick something. And then you figure out like, okay, what does that mean? Oh, it means X, Y, and Z. I'm like, why the fuck you just ain't say that? These big words are used to like cover up shit. And it's to cover up what? Like, what are you trying to cover up ultimately? That's what I'm getting at. When I remember to stand on P, I see the truth in what everybody is saying. Facts. And that's it right there. So what I'm saying, and what bruh said is like he seemed to be more of the highly intellectual, big words and all of that type shit. That's all I was going at. So technically, guess what? He's fucking right. From his lens, from his concepts, he's fucking right. That nigga's right. And I can't say nothing about it besides I think I told him, I was like, from your point of view, you're right. But no, he said it's all about a journey. Don't listen to this dude. Good hood advice is not good advice. And like so I'm like, okay, if we all on a journey, as you say we are, some people may be farther along in that so-called journey to the point where they don't need a whole bunch of word salads. You goddamn a Caesar salad or a chef salad full of big words. You got a whole bunch of croutons in the goddamn salad. Where's the lettuce, bitch? Where's the motherfucking lettuce? You can't give me a whole bunch of croutons and call it a salad. Come on, man. But that's the time and day that we live in, that people want this real nice spirituality where you get your back rubbed, ladies get their breast caressed, niggas get they shit stroked off, and this ain't that. This ain't that. We can play around with that because all this shit ultimately is fucking entertainment. Hold up. What was I looking for, y'all? Hold up. Y'all know I like to refer back to this. So we see here, y'all can't see my cursor going around, but we see here, looking at the tree of life, right? It's showing you the proof is in the goddamn pudding. The proof is in the motherfucking pudding. What's being shown right here is the manifest reality acting like or being perceived as it's outside of. Those ones with the higher knowledge see that all of this is illusionary. The only thing that's real is the actual background. That's what we're talking about. And that would be ain't so far. As within, so without. Remember? As above, so below. So what's above is below. So there is no below. There's only the above. There's only the above. So what creates this tree? The mind. You can even say Kether. The mind creates this tree. This mind creates a reflected mirror image of an illusion, which the mind would be the first Maya. Kether could be the first Maya. That's what everything is reflected from, reflected through. What's a reflection? A distorted view of the original. I didn't make this up. It's obvious if you study this shit. The only thing that's existing is ain't so far. If you really want to go deep, it's ain't. But since there's no other choice to have any so-called reality other than the mind projecting its illusion, then what has to happen here? The concepts have to be built up. You got the Bina concept. You got the Hokmah concept. Come on, you got the Geber concept. You got the Hassad concept, the Tifrif concept, the Had. Come on, man. You got the Netzach. You got the Yasad. You got the Malkuth concept. When you understand that this illusion is nothing but concepts, is what I'm trying to tell you. And all concepts are false in their totality. All gods are false in their totality. Why are they all false in their totality? Because they're concepts. how can something down here in Malkuth give the accurate description of what came before it, aka ain't so far? How can something down here in so-called Malkuth, how could the prana, how could the breath, how could the 5 elements formulate itself to give an accurate description of something prior to it? Give me an accurate description of your mother and father's everyday life prior to you being born. You're not going to be able to do it. You're going to have some slight concept of what your parents were like, right or wrong. You're going to have a concept of what your parents was like. Yeah, you have a concept, but that concept can only point you in a direction. Oh, it's kind of like this. That's how we describe consciousness. That's how we're going to describe the absolute. So what does that mean? Ultimately, the words that we are using here is not the truth. So what does that mean? Ultimately, since the tree of life can give you a motherfucking map, can give you a map of all, you can place all the spiritual systems on this map. That's why it's a cool tool to use. Because you can place all the systems on here. But remember how the map is not the motherfucking territory. It's used as a pointer. You ultimately have to come into the knowing of this that we're talking about. That's why it's called knowledge of self. It's not called the spiritual system of self. I just got through talking to Curve, and Curve was asking me about shout out to my guy Curry, man. He been doing good. He said he been doing good and still tapped in, of course. But we just got off the phone and like, bro, yeah, bro, something about creating a course with the shit that you've been doing is fire. And I'm like, bro, listen, I can't figure out no course because there's no way to gauge like a course in my head. Let me just say that in my head, a course in my head, you move up level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. And the whole time I'm saying there are no levels. So the most I can think about is creating like, you know what I'm saying, some like secluded group of motherfuckers who not really secluded, but motherfuckers who want to take it serious and really have these non-dual discussions. Because I'm tired of just talking to my goddamn self and talking to y'all in the chat. I'll do it and continue to do it. But my YouTube just hit that point where I can create like you can join type shit. And we might do unreleased videos that'll only be for the membership. A decent ass little fee that motherfucker pay, and we just goddamn join and have conversations or join and read books that, you know what I'm saying, that probably wouldn't be able to, you know what I'm saying, to have some seminars or some shit. Have a fucking non-dual seminar. I don't fucking know. But there's no levels. All of these levels sitting on this tree is an illusion. Ultimately, in the domain of the mind, oh, this shit is real. You're going through levels and you're on a spiritual path. Ultimately, there's no fucking path. Because why? The whole fucking tree is sitting in the beginning and the end. Matter of fact, ain't so far as there's no beginning and no end with it. So what path? What level? My boy finna come on, y'all. Finna bring him onto the stage real quick. Let me finish this statement though. Like, so what level? It's really no level. The whole tree exists inside of its beginning and end. With that being said, let me bring my boy Chief Westside, aka Gotti, nigga, like God, nigga. 777. What's happening, my dog? What's happening?
Man, what's going on with you? What's going on with you? No way. Can you see me right now?
I can see you in. I can hear you, my guy.
I'm fried. I'm fried. I'm fried. Nigga, it's because I'm on my phone. I ain't never did StreamYard on the phone. So I'm fucking with it because it's clear and shit. And so I'm looking at this. I'm just like, what the fuck going on? But what's up with it? What's up with it to the No Way fan? What's good with you, man?
What's going on, man? So we finna introduce my guy. How the fuck did we find each other on Instagram though, bro? I found you. You found me. I don't even remember how we end up following each other, bro.
It was through Trav. No
Okay.
bullshit. It was
Okay.
through
Okay.
Trav on
That's
me
solid.
because
That's
I
solid.
fucks with
That's
my
solid.
boy Trav and he reposted you. And so I ain't gonna lie, he rarely reposts people. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Just on some
You
real
really.
shit. He don't repost too many of other people. And you was on your shit. You know what I'm saying? So just when it
Type
comes to the
shit.
level of study and just, I would say just when it comes to like the language we speak and shit like that, nigga, that shit was very understood. It was very connected. You know what I mean? So just from that point on, I think, it was always kind of easy for me to connect and just tap in just between like school of
That's
thought and
love.
shit like that. You know what I'm saying? It
That's
was definitely
love,
through
bro.
Trav. That's how
That's
I found you. That's how we find each other for sure.
that's love. Shout out to my motherfucking guy, Travis Majors, man. So
Hell yeah,
we
that's
finna
my guy,
introduce
man.
my guy right here. We finna introduce my guy right here, man. So my boy from the West Side Worldwide. He gonna let you know. You know what I'm saying? I
Man,
definitely want you to tap into that aspect as well, bro. And I gotta go back into the description. Matter of fact, I can do that on my phone and type your YouTube channel in because I made the description, but I forgot to put your damn YouTube channel in. Go ahead, brother.
it's
So
all
let
good.
them
It's all
folks know
good.
where you
Shit, we
from.
we used to flow. All right, shit, West Side, man. Chief West Side or Gotti 77. Some people may know me, but I'm from Inglewood, California, or Los Angeles, California, specifically Inglewood. But I say the whole California. I don't get no separation with this shit. So I feel personally like I am the West Side, but I reign out of California, out of the West Side, out of LA, and that's what it is. So I mean, even on that though, I don't like to say it like that, nigga. Shit, I'm a spiritual being having the human experience of my soul on earth, nigga. So it's like, nigga, if I'm from everywhere, nigga, everywhere across this motherfucking earth, man, there's plenty, nigga. I'm from everywhere, nigga. I don't, you know what I mean? I don't let this shit limit a nigga or be my whole, my origin story, everything. You know what I'm saying? I definitely, I identify my truth. You know what I'm saying? Not just this shit here.
Dig that. So that's what you mean when you say West Side Worldwide. Very well. It ain't just limited to the West Side of the California, LA, Inglewood. Dan, you're breaking up, bro.
At the dream realm
Can you
or the
hear me?
hidden realm or spiritual realm is the,
You
yeah,
was
I can.
breaking up. Yeah, you broke up for a minute. After I asked you about the West Side Worldwide. Damn. Now he went away. Hold up, y'all.
Damn.
Say something now, bro.
Yo.
I can hear you, but we can't see you.
Damn. I can see you. I can hear me, but you low.
Damn. All right, chat. Let me know how y'all hear us? Can you see? Can you hear? Let us know something. Try to exit out and come back in, bro.
All right. All right. Let me try to do that. Hold on.
I mean, you see y'all. Sarah Pickable was happening. Sunshine Chick was happening. Okay. So you said you can hear us both. Okay. Let bro come back in. Yeah, we gonna kick some shit tonight though, y'all. Okay, that's a bit, Rafe. Be good, bro. And triple blackness of space over there. Facts. We got to talk about Ain't so far, bro. Went straight into Ain't so far on our ass. Let's see. He should be. All right, he's trying to come back in right now.
Yo.
Oh yeah. You crystal clear now. Because at
All
first
right. Bet.
you're breaking up, like
Yeah,
the
yeah. No,
commentary,
you
the
had went
video.
low, like the audible and shit had went low, so I couldn't even hear you like how I can hear you
Damn.
now. So it was all fucked up shit. But it's all good. We good.
Say less. Say less.
Where we left off at, I said where I'm from and shit, and where we
Yeah.
was going.
You. Because I was asking you. Yeah, that's what the West Side Worldwide is like.
Right. No, yeah, I was damn, let me elaborate on that. All right. West Side Worldwide, that's my brand, you know what I mean? Definitely something I feel like it's more than a brand, but it's definitely my brand, my product, my baby, my everything. But
Mm-hmm.
overall, West Side Worldwide and what it represent in more of a cultural sense for me is that understanding, let's say the physical is the west side, the Western hemisphere. You know what I'm saying? So understanding the Eastern hemisphere is the hidden, the dream, the the spiritual, so to speak. You know what I mean? Or let's say the unseen or the unmanifest, right? Then I find like me being from LA or just understanding like how big this West Side shit is over here. I personally don't look at it like that. You know what I mean? I look at, like, let's say I'm looking at the whole fucking planet now regarding every state, country, because we talking about life. You know what I mean? So West Side for me means something much more than, and I'm not even gonna limit it to what other niggas was doing, like Pac and all them other niggas. Maybe they, as a soul level, they may have knew some other shit. You know what I mean? But just off the strength of the West Side being the West Side, I expand that meaning, the purpose of it with the whole understanding of that, the West Side being the physical, or the West Side being the Western Hemisphere, and where we manifest our to rise. And here we are. So the West Side worldwide, indeed.
West Side worldwide. And what they say, the gods will rise from the West, right?
That's right. That's right.
We had that conversation last time. We chopped it up on the what's the name. I'm over here trying to fix something because I don't know what the fuck I did with the settings. It's supposed to have your name up here, and I don't see that shit. I don't even see my name showing up. So I don't know what fucking settings I done been fucking with and fucked it up. But matter of fact, y'all, let me do this. Cause I gotta have your cause your YouTube is guided 777. I mean 777, right?
Yeah, or they could find it under Ghetto Physics 777, and that's GH. I'm ghetto as fuck on everything. That's GHETTO Physics PHYSICS 777. Ghetto Physics 777.
And I think I can do one better. I can drop it in the chat, and then boom, boom. There you go, right there. It's in the chat, and I'm gonna pin that in the chat, y'all. So that's his channel right there. I need y'all to go subscribe to my guy. You'll see why. Goddamn, by the time this shit over with, by the time we finish chopping it up. So,
for real.
So we link, you know what I'm saying, just really on some occult metaphysical shit by way through the bridge of Trav, right? And like I always like to say about Trav, like I respect the hell out of the guy because like he real deal, you know what I'm saying, on his shit, and just like not no, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know how some of these motherfuckers is, like that's why he always get a shout out from me. And I know only the real deal gonna come around and fuck with him. You know what I'm saying? So by way being the channel of that shit, oh, that's solid then. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, how long would you say, like I always say this is an illusion of a journey. We're really not on a journey, but in the mind complex, we are on a journey. We progressing forward as far as the mind goes.
Sure shit.
So and I always ask this question because it's common. Like when you talk to somebody who done been tapped in, like, how long would you say you've been on your journey? Technically, it always ends up you never not been. But how far back could you recall you've been on this journey, and what brought you into it, to be more specific?
Word is bond. I'm gonna keep it so real with you, and I like that question honestly because it always reminds me of, like, I would say where I started, even where, but more so why I started. You know, like let's say what catalyzed me into being where I'm at now. And I'll say ever since I was young, I've been like conscious and aiming for, like, more knowledge, enlightenment, and all that shit, right? But I never felt as though I never felt a path calling. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
I swear I will always tell myself, like, nigga, when I'm 40 years old or some shit, I should have an awakening. I should read, like, let's say all of these books and shit everything I'm going through should count for something by the time I'm a grown man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how I looked at it. So I didn't really care for a necessary, let's say, path working, Kabbalah, your life, magic, anything. Because I felt that, nigga, life I'm living, the path I'm walking, what I'm doing in the streets, thugging, I feel this is all magical or some sense or mystical to whatever is going to bring me to where I'm at. And so that all being, nigga, that was I did a bunch of that up until 2020, 2021. Not gonna lie, and then shit, by 2020 and 2021, where I had an experience, you know what I mean, where you know, I had an out of body experience, and that shit, you know, like I mean, I was even telling myself, I'm like, shit, ain't no other way that I couldn't be who I truly am, you know, on the inside and outside, because nigga, I wouldn't be here to speak and live and let's say be a testimony to myself. So I feel that around 2020 and 2021, that shit really opened up for me as far as the portal opened, and it was everything was, you know, I guess kind of unveiled and revealed for me to kind of like walk forward and, you know, take the path serious, because shit, I guess when it comes to the knowledge of things, and this was so funny, I didn't feel that, not that I wasn't ready, but I didn't feel like I was doing what I was doing, because I was thinking like, oh, when I get older, you know what I mean?
Okay. You had like, that preset already, like when you get older type
so
shit.
By the time a nigga actually like opened up, I'm like, hold on. I was like, nigga, I mean, shit. I don't know. I can't even put into words how I was. I was over ecstatic, but at the same time, I was more pissed, because I'm like, damn, you know, I'm not realizing that, let's say, what all I'm doing now, in the sense of, you know, let's say what a nigga do, a nigga livelihood, all of this shit meaning something. Not being able to understand, like, you know, why a nigga don't know, or why a nigga do what a nigga do or ain't did that. You know, all of the shit that, you know, kind of, you know, lead a nigga to the path. I didn't see that as like, I didn't see it. I really did not.
You didn't see it as the actual path itself?
Hell nah. I didn't. Yeah. I mean, I couldn't. Maybe I did. I just couldn't identify with it.
You couldn't identify with
it. Like, you know, it was what it was. You feel me? Shit. I ain't care. And
let me say that about that, because like that's the key. That's what it is. It's like it's always the subtle shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even when whatever, that's, you know what I'm saying? Like when because you come from the street just as well as I do. You know what I'm saying? So
facts.
When we going through all that, we don't know that is the actual motherfucking path. You done been through the clip off, you know what I'm saying, in that aspect, or you done been through goddamn Bina putting pressure on that. Honestly, everybody has. But the thing is like we're not noticing it, because and I would say, if there was a blame, which I don't blame shit on shit, but if there was a blame, that's from our limited understanding, from not having that system, any form of a system set up around us. You know what I'm saying? So we wouldn't be able to identify
everything.
We wouldn't be able to identify. So we just thinking it's just the old bullshit life. But actually, this is the motherfucker. Life itself is the spiritual path. Life itself is the spiritual journey.
During the time, what came to my mind during that time, and I still hold on to it this day, but I was like, damn. Because when I was awakened at the time, and this was 2022, coming out of 2021, so it's like January. But during the moment, I'm like, nigga, I had a moment. I'm like, these Christians don't believe in Jesus for real. They don't. I know they don't fucking believe. They don't believe in no fucking. I'm like, hell, fuck. I was so like, I wasn't mad at them, but I was scientifically understanding, like, oh, like they don't even believe in what they reading for real. They don't understand by what they like are consuming and putting off as a belief to actually be, let's say, of manifest reality, magical, or anything of, you know, the mystical science, right? So that shit fucked me up, because I'm like, damn, nigga. I mean, on some shit, I'm like, what the fuck? And I ain't gonna lie, bro. I mean, it's some shit I guess, I don't know, I had to take to the grave, or, you know, put in a time capsule. But I'm like, I must be in the wrong business. Because, nigga, what the fuck going on? You know, motherfuckers just, you know, going to church and, you know, the money. I'm looking at all the shit. And don't get me wrong, that's not what I'm on. But I was looking at things from a place of rather function and occupation, and how rather people can be so docile and comfortable in that. And it's like, you don't really know what you doing, or if it's working or not, or if it's for you or not. You just don't even know.
No, you just do. Yeah, that automatic. It's just automatic with their yeah. See, now
that shit had me fucked up, because I'm like, man, it made me feel like, okay, I'm like, damn, Jesus, I feel you, man. These niggas don't even fuck with you for real. Like, you know, they don't fuck with you for real. In an aspect that, you know, of who you are, and that it is what it is. That, man, I don't know. But I'm like, I feel you, my nigga. These motherfuckers.
So look, that was my shit right there. That was my part of my journey. That's what started me, bro. I was in a trap house, and my homie came through with one book, Think and Grow. No, he came through with Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad. I finished it. I applied what I learned from it, and then I'm like, bro, I want to keep going. I want to know more. Like, what else can I do? Then I found Think and Grow Rich, and I always tell this story on this channel. It's always like I got to a chapter where he started talking about the subconscious mind. And at that time, I slick knew what it was. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't. You know what I'm saying? Like to keep it 100, the book that my homie just came through with, probably my second book I ever read in my life. You know what I'm saying? Because
yeah.
where one book Tears the Tiger in like 5th grade or 6th grade or some shit, and that was it. You know what I'm saying? Like actually read all the way through. You know what I'm saying? So and then I got that book, I got that PDF for that book, and I'm reading it. And them motherfuckers talking about the subconscious mind, and I'm paraphrasing, but remove this from your subconscious mind. Remove the most thing that you hold near and dear out your subconscious mind, and replace it with basically getting money. And I'm like, what the fuck? Hold up, like, what do I place more near and dear? At that time, I'm like, shit, God, Jesus. Then I'm like, oh shit. Like, hold up, do I really love Jesus or God if I'm gonna do this? That's when I started to question. So I stopped reading that shit and went and picked up the Bible. I'm in the trapping, goddamn back and forth with the fire on me. You know what I'm saying? Serve a motherfucker back to the room, reading the Bible. I'm like, bro, this shit don't make sense. At that point of time, now after nigga then went through a cult, this 2012. So after a nigga then went through the occult shit, now years later, obviously, I see it from a different point of view. But at that point of time, my damn, bro, your camera went out. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, bro? Your camera went out though.
I can't even hear you.
Oh shit.
Or you low right now. You like hella low right now.
It did it again. What's up, chat? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me in the chat? Can y'all hear me in the chat?
Nigga, I'm doing cyclomancy, nigga. Listening.
Hold up, bro. I about to say leave out and try to come back in again.
I'm trying to.
Oh no, they say I'm good, Brody. So you probably need to leave out and come back in again.
All right, let me.
Cause they say your audio good. It's just your video. Y'all know this goddamn technological shit, man. This technological shit gonna always do some weird shit like that. It's always something with this goddamn technology, bro. Appreciate you, living head. Appreciate you for joining us. You must be a new subscriber. Maybe this just popped up on your timeline. And we accept all over here. You did? Everybody can come kick it on the cosmic P pushers. We flying through the cosmos as the cosmos, watching the cosmos. We flying through the cosmos as the cosmos while watching the cosmos. So what are you really doing? There is nothing to be done and you are doing nothing. Nah, facts, Rafe. Damn. Where did I leave off at, y'all, when he come back? I gotta remember. What the fuck did I leave off at? Oh yeah, the book. The book. Yeah, the book. Hold up. Appreciate you sharing it too, Brody. I'm trying to see how I can edit the Hold up, y'all. It ain't gonna let me edit it just yet. Damn. What's up, man? We got to get them back on here, man. We got the folks live tapping in. There you go. Hold up. Okay.
We back.
You can hear me?
Yeah, you good. I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you too, Brody.
All right, bet for sure.
All right. So what I was saying, yeah, that's when I tapped into the book, and it took me down that path of questioning, like, am I really serious? Do I really know Jesus? Do I really know God? Am I really willing to, because at that time, what was drilled in my head, money is the root of all evil. So what the fuck am I doing? You know what I'm saying? And that's what led me down that path. And unfortunately, the trap house had to get hit by the SWAT team, and the nigga had to go to jail, and that sent the nigga down that spiral, and you know what I'm saying? So that ended up what's the name of the nigga? Because at that time, of course, when you in the shit, you can't see the shit. You know what I'm saying? When you in the shit,
man, that's the worst. Like on the lowest key, especially if you like what I would call dangling, as far as in between worlds. You know what I mean? And you don't know it, because essentially that was me. And it's like what I learned from that was that the self-admission, in self-initiation, as people like to call it, but really I'm gonna say self-admission, because it's not like some people are like, oh, you gotta give up and people say a lot of shit, but really, bro, some people don't realize the catalyst of like a cycle or something that has been completed, a new opening has been made, and not only that, you did it, you wanted it, you asked for it, you dreamed it, however you know what I mean. Most people don't really take accountability for, let's say, the opportunity they look for. You know what I mean? It's easy to, just be given some shit just so you could take it, opposed to you, let's say, you've been banking on that shit inside, and next thing you know, nigga, everything open up. You know what I'm saying?
Everything open up for your ass.
You feel me? That shit just like some motherfuckers that get to denying the Christ or Jesus at that point. No, this shit ain't. You feel me? And I don't know. I was already in a space where I'm like, man, just doing the shit I was doing, I was already like, fuck everything else. I was already studying and deep in the Bobby Hemmett and everything. I was already in hella shit. So I was already like, fuck it. But I didn't see a path for me. Or I didn't see myself as like I always said, I really honestly said, oh, maybe I'll be teaching or whatever around 40, or I'm up in age and I got something to share, supposedly. You feel me? And I didn't understand that with all that I was doing and studying, let's say, we can take all the bullshit that niggas do as whatever. Like, that's human shit. As much fun and ghost as niggas can be in it.
Yo, hold up, bro. You breaking up. You breaking up. I don't want nobody to miss. I don't want them to miss what you're saying. Say something now.
What? Yo.
Damn, it's breaking up, bro.
Damn.
Is he breaking up on y'all end, y'all, or is it just me? Y'all let me know in the chat. Is he breaking up on my end or y'all end? On y'all end too, I mean. We just spoke up the devil, Travis Majors himself. We just spoke him up. My guy, what up, Trav? Say something now, bro. Say something now.
You can hear me?
Yeah, you coming through clear now. Go ahead.
All right, bet. Man, what's going on? What's going on with my motherfucking people in the chat, man? Man, I on the StreamYard shit, it's back and forth. Portals and all type of shit. But nah, man, what I was really saying though was that, and it's a big thing I learned. I'm still learning it. I feel like, when you're really on the path, this is a part of it, especially when we talk about meditation and all the other shit. We'll get into it. But what I'll say is that when niggas was, let's say, in the trap or matrix of the trap, you bringing the Bible and you already suspended and was breaking the illusion of the trap. And it's like, nigga, what the fuck you doing? Yeah. And so even if, like, let's say you in the moment didn't know it at the time of you suspending your reality, one way or another, you were suspended in animation. So I say a nigga can only do that so often unconsciously, like playing, until it's time for a nigga to, let's say, be self-admitted or, self-initiated into their own shit and know themselves. And nigga quiet as kept. On my way to the crib, nigga, somebody was driving, license plate said, know thyself, NOTHYSF. No bullshit. So
what the
that
fuck?
was before I called you. I got home. But I'm just saying overall, ain't nothing out the loop. But I just want to throw that in coincidence. There because it does come a time, or let's say it does come a time, whether from an internal, let's say, catalyst, that one got to take account for. Let's say when one is called, nigga, it's your choice. You feel me? Many are called, few are chosen. How are you gonna be able to receive and let's say share yourself, or be able to receive and share the experience of your higher self or yourself? You know,
facts. And then that be the thing right there, like that. Like when I'm talking to people, you know what I'm saying, or if I'm having a consultation or something, they thinking they ain't doing shit. I'm like, no, you doing every goddamn thing. Look, didn't you just say you did this when you was then you just say this, and then you did what the fuck you think all that shit is for? Like you think that shit is just, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it comes from maybe I could say Hollywood films, or we hear about Hollywood films, or we hear about some Western occultists and the shit that they have done, or we compare our lifestyle to those in the East. You know what I'm saying? We get to comparing. It's always a comparison thing, and that's the duality of this shit. You see what I'm saying? And that's why I talk about the non-dual aspect, because once you see it from a non-dual aspect, which is the true aspect, it coming from one, there is no you're not doing it. Matter of fact, there is no you doing it in general, but that's another topic. But there is no, oh, I'm being spiritual in this moment I'm not. Everything is.
Right.
And that's why that internal battle comes from, where we feel like we're not doing enough. And that's what I keep trying to tell people, because we locking ourselves in with these goddamn concepts, and you don't know it's so-called unconscious. You looking to be inside of this concept, and if anything is outside of this concept, it ain't spiritual. Or if it's inside of this concept that you don't consider spiritual, it ain't spiritual, and everything over there is spiritual. And that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I always say. We need to understand the mind, then we understand the illusion, then we understand the matrix, then we understand the tricks that the mind and the matrix play on the nigga. Go ahead, bro. I feel like you were finna say something.
Nah, I mean, real shit. You said that shit like motherfucking water, gang. I ain't gonna lie, you was flowing with that shit. But truth be told, what I was gonna say was that, and you kind of expounded on it, but it's the human condition.
Yeah.
And so
yeah,
that human condition or conditioning that we put on every fucking thing is I would say this. Damn. I don't even know how I'm gonna say it, but I'm gonna say it. But it's like once you do the same shit over and over, you know, it's not magic anymore. You know what I'm saying? It just becomes some shit you do, you know? And so when people don't understand the science and the art of being, right, I'll say, that's where it's like a motherfucker can miss out on all the greatness, even the best fuck ups, I'll say, you know? Because this is where, let's say, the sparks and the ideas and all of this shit really come from. And then at the same time, on a level of awareness or consciousness, this shit is very much explained in the Tree of Life, Kabbalah, and as far as like the body, like the mind matrix. So realizing how the functioning of the conditioning can be rather rewired and reprogrammed through one realizing and knowing, let's say, the self, right? Then, you know, shit, it's just as far as you want to take it. And I think that's really where niggas can even get to challenging free will, you know, because a lot of people, you know, ain't even, you know, operating in that shit wholeheartedly, you know, I mean, holistically.
Yeah.
And it's the fucking truth, bro. It's just like, it ain't, I'm saying this is this. It's not my knowledge to hold over anyone. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Nigga, we all got our own answers to our own questions that our spirit guides us through. Feel me? So it ain't nothing that we can't discover or uncover within our own cognition based on our own self. And it's like, that's where the will come in at. How you gonna challenge that? Because at the same time, the spirit is challenging the mind, and the mind should be able to challenge the spirit. Even shout out to Trav, because he speak on this a lot. But in the Bible, we speak on challenging the spirit and being able to challenge the spirit, as in a sense of law, scripture, or, you know, order. As in, just for, let's say, you wanting to study or wanting to know the truth is not a crime. So if it came to you questioning any of the shit that, let's say, was given to you as a conditioning, nigga, you was already on the right path of suspension and whatnot, you know? And so it's like, that's where, I mean, most people are challenged by trust, you know, and that's that heart, man. It's a real heart thing. Like, if we could just simplify it, it's a real heart chakra type, you know, Yeah, and
I see that.
shit, you gotta be really, you gotta
no,
be
you
one of them
you
ones to go with it.
because you really got to, because like, because what is it like? Because when we like when we talk about the heart, right? We talking about an aspect of something that is a crossroads. And shout out to OG Bobby Hemi, he spoke on it as well. And so, because when we read mystical texts, there's levels to it, because one person can hear the heart and think automatically emotions. Okay, fine, that's a level. But when you hear heart, we got to jump all the way back, because when they speaking of the heart, that's a crossroads, and there's also the source. It's a
Mm-hmm.
it's an esoteric meaning for source, the powerhouse. Nothing don't move without this motherfucker. There is no body
Right.
functioning. You know what I'm saying? There is no mind happening inside. There's no brain. There's no mind happening inside of this body without the source. So once we understand what the source is, once we understand that we're talking about the source, and like Bobby said, that's what I was going to get to. Like Bobby said, but he said, like, listen, the heart chakra is a crossroad. He spoke about Lakshmi, or a feminine deity, but that's another story. So, but what he's saying is that's the crossroad. Listen, when you cross over into that, you make a choice. You get to that point with this so-called knowledge. You figure out like, oh, everybody else out here is dead. They ain't got no knowledge. They don't know who they are. They don't know we the gods or chaos. They don't know none of that. You can sit with that and stay there, or you can go over and then cross over, is your ass getting nailed to that cross, because you have to drop all the identity with the mind body complex. You're gonna have to drop all identity with anything that suggests this is what Bobby words. Paraphrase, you're gonna have to drop all identity with anything that says that you are somebody. And that's hard to do. You can't do that, because you have to go that, and that's real deal surrendering to God. That's real deal surrendering to self. If because God
Right.
ain't nothing but a word, another word for the self. So know the
Right.
self,
Right.
or
Right.
know God self. So that's the only real surrendering. Everything else, we playing mind tricks. We playing. I'm gonna keep it 100. That's what I say. That's my perspective. We playing mind tricks until we fully go into that surrendering to the self. Like all this identity that I hold,
And
it's
see,
gotta go.
I like how you said that. That and I'm a expound on that, because shit, I feel like that's an ever working process, and based on the elements or the science of the heart, mind. Let's say it all being one connected source from the, you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
I say that to say the heart space consists of neutrality, not so much duality, as much the brain
Facts.
or the mind can
That's
be
it. That's
distinguishing
it.
between positive or negative. You feel me? So
That's it.
what charges or what radiates or what activates or amplifies or expands the heart? I mean, only you know what inspires and moves you, because you the spirit. You know what I mean? And so the study of that come from, how you express or how you are able to do what you do, let's say beyond judgment or with non-judgment. It just is, And so
Mm-hmm.
even when it comes to let's say on a meditative sense of like non-action, just being in that space of awareness or pure awareness or pure heart, you know what I mean? Many a times people may not look at that as pure awareness. They may look at it or misconstrue it as pure emotion and feeling and sensation. So that's why I find they're still, dancing with the mind, because I guess what you mentioned, or even what Bobby was saying, to then put an identity, and let's say it's almost like being in channel. And the wise woman told me some real shit. She was like, yeah, when you in channel and you receiving, transmission or whatever, and then you start naming whatever you was going on, you taking yourself out of it. And so that's kind of the same thing
Yeah.
that most people can do,
Yes.
even let's say when the heart is opening up. You know what I mean? When you feeling what you feeling, or when you going through
Mm-hmm.
whatever you're going through, good, bad, light or dark, whatever. It's all art. How you make of it or what you imagine of it, or you know what I'm saying? That then becomes a study of science for you to then, you know what I mean, break through or apply and expound in the world. So it's that's like I don't want to say it's like a slippery slope, but based on, I don't want to say misinterpretation, but just a misunderstanding of
Yeah.
maybe words. Because essentially the heart,
Yeah.
a lot of niggas don't talk about the heart, but the true sense of the heart being in this neutral sense, some people man, they run from that in the sense of they want to have a inner war or a conflict or something to be dual about, and it's like, nigga, who said that even had to be, and who said that you wasn't already doing that with the man in the mirror, you know? And so it's like,
Man, come
you know,
on, bro.
and then and I guess it go from influence, right? Because the mind or the brain can be influenced, and the spirit that, you know, raises itself through the heart, you know what I'm saying, being inspired, you know, and that's all interconnected as, let's say, on a chakra system of the soul in the heart chakra. And so let's say the spirit, you know, air flowing through the inner, outer, the macro, the micro, it's a more inevitable way of experience. But I will say how you enter, as far as like with the consciousness, you know what I mean, would determine, like they say, the light of the heart, or it being too heavy. You feel what I'm saying? And
and
man,
and on that right there,
it sometimes, or I would say sometimes, oftentimes it's unnecessary. Most of shit.
most of shit, yeah. See, and that comes with taking that accountability, because that gets like getting back with the heart, because the misinterpretation of it, or maybe even the lack of really understanding the importance of that heart being weighed, that heart being lighter than a feather. And that's what the OGs talked about. That's what a Bobby or a Panic talked about. It was
Correct.
you taking this reality too serious, which means if you're taking this reality too serious, you are, like I keep telling folks, you are wrapped up in too many goddamn concepts. You are emotionally attached to too much of what's happening to the world, what's happening to the people, what's happening to this, and what's happening. Am I doing enough of this? Am I doing enough of that? Am I not doing enough of this? You have too much attachment to it. And a lot of people mistake attachment with um like being cold-hearted and just complete standoffish. Like compassion, you're gonna have, especially if you come to a non-dual point, because you're gonna understand everybody's nothing but the self. Everybody's
Right.
nothing but you. So how could you not have compassion? But if you think, which for some people, I will say this because we're talking about the matrix, right? So we think there are some people who are in the matrix who gets to so-called level they think is their job to save every goddamn body. And that's the same thing as making your heart heavier than a feather, because you think this is really
Man.
happening. You think this shit is real. You think it's actually fucking happening. And you thinking it's your job to save everybody when it's not. But that may be that person's quote unquote karma to go through that and figure out that's not the way it go. Because there's not one person I haven't met that became, you know what I'm saying, started so-called spiritual journey that didn't think, oh, let me go tell everybody they've been lied to. Let me go tell everybody what they doing to us. I'm trying to help people. I'm trying to say that's part of the shit. That's part, like if on the tree of life, that's part of the 30-second path. You don't get out the
Yeah.
30-second path until you have acceptance that what this motherfucker is what this motherfucker is. This is how it's
Right.
supposed to be. It's exactly how this shit is supposed to be. Exactly how this shit supposed to be, bro. Like the mind and the ego is the trickery here. They're useful to keep up the dream. Let me say that. They're useful to keep up the dream. But the way that this shit is going is the way that it's supposed to be. But what the mind does is let me be the doer. I have to do. Look at all of these things that I need to do. Let's look at the back of this tree. That's why I love pulling this out. Shout out to Trav for putting me down with the game. Because if you look at this tree, this is a magnificent piece that's used on Dion Fortune, one of the baddest bitches, and it's a coat shit I got to say. She had the artist depicted as this, and in the background would be the triple black darkness, the ain so far. The triple black darkness,
Mm-hmm.
ain so and ain so far, which is exactly where the tree is admitting itself from, but it's not admitting itself from itself into something else. No, it's admitting itself from itself within itself.
Exactly.
So the tree is itself. So ultimately, you see what I'm saying? It's like, so what are we saying here? The mind. So what the mind does is have to give concepts. That's what I was saying right before you got on. The mind has to give concepts so we can have something to latch on to. It needs something to stand upon. And what it stands upon is concepts. So if this tree of life right here is Bina, divine feminine aspect, the builder up and a breaker down, Hokmah, the dynamic energy. Then we got Gibra, the one who places limits when shit expands and gets overabundant. Then we have, you know what I'm saying, Hased over here, the kingdom, the expansion, and the good peace prosperity. So if it gets too peaceful and prosperity, then guess what? Everything is overly abundant. So that means disease can be overly abundant, killing could be overly abundant, just for examples. So here has to come Gibra, who has to set down the law. So all these concepts, if all of these are concepts to stand upon, as far as the matrix is, ultimately it's still nothing but aim so far. But projected through Kether, with which I find out is another Maya, a veil, or an illusion, because it's 1 degree away from aim so far. Like it's written, it's talked about how it's like latent 1 degree, so it's barely any difference if you can tell. And that's the same thing if you understand. If you get to the Eastern shit, they talk about Brahmin and Maya. Like there's really no separation. It's like Brahmin, the self is the fire, is the fire itself, but the heat comes along with it. You can't take one without the other. Heat and fire go together. Like there's no separation. So when you get to understand, this whole setup here, I'm like, oh, ultimately this is the mind. We're looking at the mind of God. We're looking at the mind of all of us. This is the mind. So when you look at the mind, the whole mind is a fucking illusion. That's why we're getting a non-duality. They be like, well, shit, when we tell you there is no mind, there is nothing to understand. So what are you trying to understand? You're not going to be able to accept it, because the mind needs concepts to stand upon. No concepts, no illusion. No illusion, no freedom. No freedom means there was never no matrix. There was never a matrix. There was never an illusion.
Type shit. Nah, that's the real shit. Because I mean, and this is and you kind of like saying the same shit, but maybe like in a different way. But how I look at shit is like, okay.
Damn, did he break up?
Bro,
can you hear me?
Of itself.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, now you back. Now run that back. Go back and tell us what you were saying. You was breaking up.
I was saying that this mind body experience or brain body, complex existence is a concept in itself of itself. Yeah. Let's say being a soul spirit. You know what I mean?
Facts.
So this was something I came upon. You know how this shit I be doing just in my own walk. But I feel like I be filling in a lot of what the idioms or the metaphors or what the ancestors and the elders had brought. You know what I mean? So I'll just use it for an example. Let's say, why the fuck does slow feet don't eat? Like, nobody randomly said that, and it didn't come from like that's a whole sentence and a whole paragraph that means something of a purpose that it got so much more definition. If only you could understand or tap and understand the depths of that, let's say, concept, we'll just say, right? So in a concept I've been looking at, I'm like, damn, so I'm a soul spiritually being human, experiencing my soul. Does that make sense? Like in that like
I'm a soul human being spiritually experiencing myself or my soul. Is that what you said?
No, I said I'm a soul spiritually being human, experiencing my soul.
Your soul, you experiencing your soul.
Right.
Yes. Because that's what that's see, and
because
I get
the
what
human,
you were saying, we saying the same
concept,
shit.
The mind, the body don't fucking exist.
So it don't fucking exist.
Did niggas mean when they said, "Oh, I'm a spiritual being having a human experience," or some niggas fuck it up. I'm a human being and I'm having a
spiritual experiences.
I'm on a spiritual path.
There you go. You came back.
Spiritually being human, experiencing my soul. And so, you know, like, yeah, I mean, shit. Everybody got a date, expiration date, you know what I mean?
So check this out, how powerful that is. Because you start off with the soul and you end with the soul. So the beginning is the end. That's the same shit that's here in this tree of life. That's the same shit. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's everywhere. That's why I tell people, check it. Check it. It's the same shit everywhere. The shit in the middle is not the shit in the middle is an illusionary. There is no feeling inside of the fucking pie.
No, conceptually, of the conception, it's all a part of it's meant for me once are available or are potential or possible based on the ability. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or the creation, so to speak, and or emanation, should I say? So that's just how I've been looking at certain shit lately, just on that concept, because I've been filling in the blanks of what a lot of things have been said, and even furthermore is, let's say it gets repeated and regurgitated, never questioned. So even when it's time for us to go beyond the shit that we've been told and given, and let's say we downloaded and all of that, and it's like, okay, well, damn, how do we reprogram the computer to say something different or do something different or, you know, have a whole new mode? You know what I mean? That requires let's say a whole new source of information, emanation, you know, all the shit. And it's like, I look at that as that's not coming from an outside spark of catalyst. That's coming from that inner being, that true being. Because that's how this false concept actually thought, oh, I'm a human being spiritual or some shit. And so how to unwrap, you know, how to unwrap myself out of all of this DNA fuckery, because essentially that's what it is, you know. And I don't want to circle back on it, but I guess it'll bring it full circle. It's the heart that navigates the gateway in between the higher and lower planes. How you pass through or how you stay down until you come up, as some niggas gotta, you know, they feel they're obligated to, you know what I'm saying? Or some niggas is I'm not bigger than the program as niggas, or you ain't bigger than the program. But like, hold on, who are you to tell me who I'm bigger than? Nigga, I'm taller than you. I don't know if you got the right to say that. You know what I mean? But I'm just, you know, it's like a lot of these mental boggles, you know what I'm saying? That we put on the fucking, we weigh down the spirit and soul of any potential by just diluting thought like that. Because if anything, we could be able to empower thought and program our own thoughts and ideas. Nigga, you heard Reverend X. Your thoughts, you know what I'm saying? So niggas should be able to, you know, understand and distinguish. Let's say that's what the mind is for, to decipher, distinguish, and discern, not to argue with itself of itself because it does not know itself. That's retarded, you know. And
facts,
man,
bro. Facts, bro.
It's not fun, and it's not a fun ride being retarded, doing retarded shit, and just, you know, it ain't no joy in that. Not no true joy, not no, you know. And I feel that even, let's say, as a soul, spiritually being human, I know it's so much more of this experience, because what are we watching on these Netflixes and things of the humans doing these super non-human things? You get me? So when it comes to anything of a spiritual path for niggas embarking and doing what they're doing.
Damn, he went out. He went out again, y'all. You went out, bro. You might have to exit out and come back again. If you can hear me, you might have to exit out and come back in again.
Hold on. I'm gonna join back in. You done went low.
All right. While he doing that, y'all see why I got him on here. That boy be flowing. Boy be flowing, don't he? And shout out to Trail. He said he found we linked from, I guess you I think you reposted me on YouTube, Trail. You reposted me on YouTube. I said YouTube. And then let's see. I mean, you reposted me on Instagram, and then he found Then he found me through your page. Let's see here. There you go. All right. Damn. Like Trav just said, it requires a new source of information. Here, yeah. We can't get that info from the world or TikTok. Only from observing from a different angle. And that's the only way. You're gonna have to look up here from a standpoint of Ketha. I think I'm reading my horizon. What he was saying is when you read the Bhagavad Gita, don't read it from a person's trying to understand Krishna and what he's saying. You're gonna conceptualize and put everything in a box. You should read the Bhagavad Gita and understand Krishna as if you are Krishna. Read the Bhagavad Gita as Krishna. Read the Bible as if you are God. Read the New Testament as if you were Jesus. That would change your whole perspective. And it's ultimately going to be something that you can't explain. That's why, and it's not doing it like ultimately there's nothing to get. There's nothing for you to understand. There's nothing for you to understand. You're not going to be able to get shit. Let's see, you need to connect. They need to connect the mic before they can join. Oh, but there's ultimately, bro, if you're watching, bro, say you got to connect your you got to connect your mic and your camera before I can add you. So there's ultimately nothing for the human mind to get, especially if y'all done the book study over with Trav, where we talked about going past Tiferet, going up towards Doth, and going up to Kepha. They like basically leave it alone because you ain't gonna be able to get up there. Cause by the time you get up to Doth, you're gonna have to rip everything apart. You're not gonna be able to take your identity with you. That doesn't mean you're gonna be sitting like a motherfucking vegetable. You're not. The body and the mind will still be doing what the fuck is doing, but you won't be identifying with none of that shit. You're gonna sound like a fucking lunatic. Like to you, I just took a sip out of my Chick-fil-A cup, but I know ultimately that's what the body and mind is doing, and I'm the one observing me sipping out the cup, hit my vape on YouTube with Gotti777. You're gonna sound like a saint lunatic. Facts. You're gonna sound like a saint lunatic. And that's why I always try to create the understanding, like, okay, from the mind-body complex, yes, this is true. From an ultimate aim so far perspective, from a pure consciousness perspective, if you're looking at it from that perspective, oh no, all this shit is a falsity. But if I'm looking from my mind-body complex within the concepts that human beings typically identify in, or human beings of my so-called demographic identify in that state, oh yeah, now you can talk about good and evil. You can talk about right and wrong. We can talk about just and unjust. But if we zoom the fuck back out, coming from the ultimate standpoint of view, none of that shit exist, because what? The whole thing is an illusion. The whole fucking thing is an illusion. You hear frequency over and over to the point they'll end up hating hearing the word facts. And Rafe, that's what I had somebody comment on my Instagram. I mean, not Instagram, but TikTok, and say. And I was saying there is no war. There is nothing to ultimately battle. I said we all start off at that stage, and then we figure out the war is already won. And then once you figure out the war is already won, you'll figure out there was never a fucking war. And the motherfucker like, no, bro, there is a war. You don't know what you're talking about. Or, no, there is a war. And then he's talking about frequency war. I'm like, see, what people is doing, see, this is what the mind does. It plays around with concepts. It thinks switched good and evil out. No, it doesn't think. What it done is this. It switched out good and evil for frequency. So now you're talking about bad frequency and good frequency. Or now you're talking about high frequency and low frequency. If I'm talking, I like to talk from this ultimate perspective. Yes, in the mind body, we can talk about there's low frequency, there's high frequency. Yes. But it's also, we can talk about hot versus cold. But if anybody has studied the 7 Hermetic principles, telling you there's no like and unlike are the same. So hot and cold are the same. They're fucking temperatures is what they are. But the mind has to separate things to make a distinction between things to ultimately pick good or evil. Something that I want to welcome, something that I want to reject. That's the realm of duality that will leave your ass stuck.
Indecisive. Shit.
Indecisive. Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
You mean
because hey, bro, you know they say the more options human being get, the less they are to likely make the right goddamn choice. So they overflood our ass in America with options. That's what get the ego going. That's what gets the ego going. Go ahead, bro.
Man, I know the shit is fucking up, man. So I'm just really, just kind of picking up where you at. You know what I mean? I ain't about to backtrack or nothing. But from what you're saying, it's like, that's what I be saying. Because I don't really feel, I'm going to be real. Because on the word aspect, the word that niggas think they talking about, they not even in it. So it's like,
facts.
It's like, to a nigga that interface with some shit, and I mean, I'm not speaking for me. I mean for everybody who really is in their own walk and who has been up against challenges and all sorts of shit. That was already by design in the path that you were made for or laid for yourself. Facts. And so it really ain't even a war as much as it's like damn near a process that you go through in order to either you overcome it in a greater sense or you don't, because you don't reoccurring. You know what I mean? So many times niggas don't even know the war that's in their own region of space or spirit that niggas is talking about and basically casting shadows, because it's like I don't know, from the shit that I've learned with Bobby Emmett, Brother Panic, and Miss Blue. I mean, shit, Trav, who else? Azazel Bay. I mean, I'm just saying, from what I've learned and even come to understand from my own knowing itself, was that the war, quote unquote, is never outside of you. So if there ever was a war, it wouldn't be to harm you or to what the fuck are you looking for? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's inside of you. And I say this to say, between awareness and thoughts, that's where most niggas is warring at. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Do I know, or am I just thinking like this? Or is my thoughts real or true, or is it nothing? And then I feel that on a level of self-admission, many people would, man, motherfuckers be fragile. If you told them, that thought you had wasn't real, as a man thinketh, so is he. All right, cool. But if you tell a nigga, nah, that's just bullshit, right? Mm-hmm. Most people couldn't grasp the idea of that. Let's say why it is not as great as they thought it would or could be. And so the limited potential of what niggas is actually aiming for is being limited by a tit for tat in a war. When the war that really going on is that right there. So if a nigga can keep you in that shit, you feel me? You would never get on the other side of the what is this Beyonce? I came to win, to fly, I conquer. You know what I'm saying? You would never get there. And so it's just like when you continue to fight. And what I say, and it's something that I heard a few people say, but it's really conspiring against self. When you conspire against yourself, you already creating in the matrix. You're already from that white, that pure white spectrum. You created the dojo. So whoever Morpheus is to you or for you, you done already did that. So by the time you get in the dojo, your ass better know how to fight. And if you're getting beat up by yourself, that says a lot about who the fuck you are. And so, it's just like, man, I'll say it again. Motherfuckers don't want the war they say they want. And I don't either. I'm keeping it all the way down with you. Oh, boy, I'm ready for whatever. Don't get me wrong. But in my higher self, in my truth, in my essence, in my being, I don't want to evoke no nigga bleeding in front of me. I don't want to manifest no motherfucking children being harmed in front of me. I'm not a part of that organization and creation and sourcing. You feel me? So even going back to the choice and the decision of what we then say that is real or that is, true in our reality, man, it's so delicate based on our thoughts, emotions, and even frequency, because that'll also determine the information that you receive in that same way. So definitely frequency is a big thing, but some niggas don't even understand knowledge or information as frequency, to the fact of that the things that they're consuming and studying being beneficial or being what the fucking word is, detrimental. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like
motherfuckers don't know between useful and appropriate.
They don't want to go to war. These niggas don't want no fucking war.
They don't, bro. They don't.
And nobody want no war for real. So to make it up in the mind unconsciously, niggas should recognize, wait, I'm unconsciously programming, and like niggas don't do that. And niggas think, like you say, it's real, even on the aspect of somebody outside of them, taking the form of what they see as an opposer or opposition.
Proposition.
So a lot of this shit is being marketed and sold. And I mean, my whole thing is, as a conscious being, a nigga gotta ask why. Because I'm not interested. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to buy into this Bitcoin. I ain't trying to buy into that type of fucking stock in exchange. You know what I mean? That ain't what I'm looking to invest in. So I say this to say, niggas try to go so far away from the self just to be something that they're not. When who you always been is never denied itself of everything that is capable of. The mystery upon you getting it and going within it is you, like, that's the free will, nigga. Do you really think you have that? Do you really feel that way about yourself? A lot of niggas are not who they are. And I'm not saying that like that. I don't want to say it like niggas.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
You feel what I'm saying?
We get it.
A lot of humans are cosplaying spirituality for the simple thing of playing safe or staying safe in things that we say is condition, religion, all that. Don't realize the brain and the mind is doing that. That ain't let's say your spirit ain't calling you to do the same shit in another arena. That's not evolving. That's not learning. So it's like, come on, man. You know what, man?
And that's what they want to do. It's because, let's talk about it. It's the Matrix. So what does the Matrix want to do? It want to create matrices inside of the matrix, and that was the story. If we want to go back to the Gnosticism of Yaldabaoth, the mind, the ego, wanted to create its own little system. It wanted to create its own little system, and then have a system created inside of that system, have a system created inside of that system. So that's why I tell motherfuckers, like, if we want to decode this shit, do you know how many levels we got to decipher through? And I think Trav did this one time too, but I'm gonna paraphrase from my standpoint of view. Is first you got to decipher through that you're a fucking human being. Then you got to decipher through your so-called you're human being. Then you got to decipher through your fucking gender, male or female or whatever the fuck. And then you got to decipher through your race, black, African American, white, Asian, Indian, whatever. And then you got to decipher through the culture of your race. Then you got to decipher through religion. Then you got to decipher through the region you were born in and what side of the country or the world you were born in. So let's say you born in the Western Hemisphere. You born in America, but not just in America. You born in the Southeast. Or not just the Southeast. You born on the West Side in Inglewood. You see what I'm saying? Then you got to decipher through the whole culture of that place. And you see what I'm saying? Like, then you got to decipher through, I'm an earthly being. Then that's 7 or 8 things motherfuckers got to decipher through. It's easier just to put on a costume. You see what I'm saying?
Fair.
It's easier to put on a fucking costume,
I suppose. And this is where it always is. The challenge is upon those who are called to do this great work. You know what I'm saying? And that's just like, let's say, beyond what I'm saying, the actions of the spirit realm and the cosmic things and events always show, as far as who able to let's say, stay alive, nigga. You know what I mean? And it's not saying that if you do something else or you're not this way or you're not super conscious that you're not spiritual. Nah, that ain't what I'm getting at. Because quiet is kept. A lot of these niggas dressing up or playing dress up, you know what I mean, is just that's let's say, man, I don't want to sing that song, but that's all it's good for. Shout out to what is it good for?
Absolutely nothing.
That's niggas in they shit. You know, some niggas is so stuck in that, man. And my question is, on a level of consciousness and growth, what is it good for? Now, what is it good for? What I wanted to say based on what you were saying, because what you said was some real shit. Everything is connected based on the culture, religion, tradition, everything, you know, as far as its origin. But I find, maybe it's just me and my optimism. You know what I mean? Anybody could, you know, I'm not speaking for everybody, but in my optimism, this is what led me to then peel back the layers of this shit. Because it was like, okay, if I know the homie, right, who ain't got no weed, right, but he know I got some weed, right, and I know he know I got some weed, so he gonna walk his ass over here, play like he got some weed or he got something going, but he ain't got nothing going, just to act, you know what I'm saying?
Just to smoke.
I could not get mad at that dynamic. Ultimately, I had to shift my frequency and my angle of experience, perspective, and how I ritualize my weed smoke and everything I do in the shared experience. So why I value that, you know what I mean? So ceremony, you know what I mean? And many a times niggas don't want to see it that way. Shout out C3 Benel, because the devil, niggas be all caught up in the devil and shit. And so if they doing something that is not in tradition or not in the conditions of which it was, you know, let's say told to them or given to them by their parents or whomever, the suspension of reality make the body feel almost weak. If you don't know how it feel, you'll feel like numb or like you cold or like, you know, it you know what I'm saying? The body will feel like, what the fuck? Based on, and I say this from a place of my journey within the mushroom space, because every journey is different. So you could do 3 grams today, and 2 months from now, you do 3 grams, it'll be totally different. Or you do this, how the body works, something I learned as far as when you want to go higher in dosage. The body might be like, nah, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, you good. You know, all this shit like that. But it's only because the body does not know or is aware of what to experience or what's to come of that experience. So it's like a roller coaster you ain't never been on. How could you judge it and say it's going to do what it's going to do?
Do what it's going to do.
Only thing you could do is strap your own nigga for the ride and let's say commit. You know what I mean? Because let's say to be caught up in duality, as in, am I going to eat it? Am I going to not eat it? Nigga, that's a bunch of brain activity that's unnecessary. You know what I mean? So on a level of consciousness,
you gotta surrender
authority, and how niggas live proactively, niggas don't even realize when they are in a spiritual war with themselves, let alone fighting other motherfuckers and trying to destroy the world. And then on top of that, niggas don't really want to do that, because the niggas who really want to do that ain't trying to do that. They trying to do some other shit for themselves, more likely. You know what I mean? So I don't know, the war or the revolution, I would say, definitely ain't to be televised because it's inside. So I even finish off with my nigga Gil Scott Ron said, the revolution is not to be televised because it's happening inside. So that's just, you know, that's just that.
And that's the ultimate reality of the shit. You see what I'm saying? And like, that's the ultimate reality of the shit, and nobody really wants to, because like I always say, like, I'm gonna tell you what I found out about humans. We don't want to get to know ourselves. Coming from the streets. Like, I just lost a homie today. Like, one of my homies just got killed. Long live Ball 50, man. Long live my nigga Ball 50. And these conversations or these realities that we deal with in the streets, I know the nigga got a good heart, but he with all the fuckery. You know what I'm saying? Like, with all the fuckery. And I got another homie, and he's like on a kind of like a different spectrum, as far as when you see him, like, you gonna have to shoot him first, cause like he ain't the one like you trying to have no problem with. So if you ain't trying to shoot him, you need to get the fuck on down type nigga. Like, yeah, man, him, but he didn't change. My nigga didn't change his life, bro. And the shit really brought me to tears, bro, because I seen like, because I know it's hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know this nigga hard, but at the same time, niggas be scared to go inward, bro. All this tough guy shit on the outside that transfers over to this revolution. I'm fighting for my people. I'm fighting. You scared to go in and actually deal with what needs to be dealt with. You terrified. And I'm not just saying street niggas. I'm saying human beings in fucking general. That shit is hard to do, bro. It's hard to go inside. It's scary. It's scary, bro. But listen,
it's harder to not do it. I'ma just say that. It's more difficult to not do it not sit the fuck down and have to get some recalibration and understanding and get it right, or want to, I should say. And that's the main thing I'll say about that, because on a soul level and spiritual level, everybody desires is different. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got their own desires. So when it comes to a soul spiritual desiring of the mind getting it, whatever it is for that individual, you know what I mean? You can see that, but you can also see the spirit work, and you can, shout out to my nigga. Bro is just on ice. You know what I mean? Full of glass, you know what I mean? Crystal and shit, tweaking. And then he started from pills in a car accident. You know what I mean? He got on the pill, got addicted, went from that, went to lean, everything, right? Now, that's a good nigga, bro. He could have been in that fucking NBA, you know what I mean? Playing ball. But overall, bro is fucked up, you know what I mean? Just from his, his injuries and whatnot. Now, I would say in this case, or recently, the nigga clean. And when I see him with the homies, he ain't smoking with niggas, he ain't drinking with niggas. He's back to joking and he back to himself, but I ain't never seen him in a clean state of just being sober,
Gotcha.
So,
yeah.
On a level of healing and holisticism or whatever like that, let's say, because some niggas be feeling all type of ways, and I know even my own sister self has felt ways just as like, okay, me personally, I be wanting niggas to get it. And the fact of like, nigga, we're here for a reason. Between if we neighbors, we at school together, we know each other, however we know each other, whatever brought us together, nigga.
It's not by mistake.
Understand that and see what is growing and nourishing this moment and to go forward, or else it ain't shit, right? So for me, it always been much more. I kind of always been that way. So
yeah, same here, bro. Same
in
here.
the sense, it's like you could have room or whole space for somebody, right? Who they may not be where you going, you know what I'm saying? But they meant to make it and evolve and awaken where they at, because it's like certain things of the patterns and sequences and codes of the stars are not meant to be repeated as, evolution and whatnot, And I said that to say everybody learning path or journey, even spiritually, is different, because let's say what they soul the spirit dreamed of them doing at the time of them doing it, So I'd be more fascinated when niggas get it or want to get it, or like the will of it. Like, nah, I something happened, nigga, and I gotta get it. Whatever it is, that I fuck around and smile, because it's like I know that feeling. I know how that feel. And then when it comes to a resonance of truth and wanting to, I would say, be revealed, as in to understand one's own truth or the truth living within oneself, not nothing of a dictatorship. Or you got to be a more and go sovereign and nationalist. None of that. But something that says, nigga, when I evoke myself into today, nigga, I understand I'll run this whole shit. I am the cause to the effect of everything being. You know what I'm saying?
On, bro.
So
come on, bro.
And then mind you, it's levels, because it's like every path is different for everybody, but you can see what a motherfucker is called. And when you see a motherfucker answer somebody, ain't nothing better than that. And then I feel it needs to be more of that, just based on the fact of niggas afraid of their own soul. So nigga talk to all nigga talk all the gang shit, nigga talk all the street shit, nigga want to. But if you can't sleep peacefully, bro, I don't fuck with you. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
And on everything. Because it's like one way or another, it just might be some disingenuous shit that you might spill out unconsciously. And I gotta tell you about it. And you like, oh, I didn't know. And it's like, I know you didn't. And it's like, you know what I'm saying? So it be shit like that.
Like, I know you didn't.
I'm gonna share this with you, gang, because I really, and this is just from me and my honest heart and truth. niggas don't gotta identify with that shit. You a god, nigga. Yeah. You chose yourself.
Facts.
What my nigga Kodak say? Fuck, bro. He said, the streets took my soul. The streets keep on calling me. Whatever the fucking nigga said. You feel me? Yeah. So listen to the words niggas say and choose to say to agree with ideally, conceptually of empathy or lack thereof. I don't feel that way. Not yesterday or today. You know what I'm talking about? Facts, and so when it comes down to tomorrow, nigga, it's gonna be like Bill Withers, nigga, a lovely day. You dig me? But it's just, it's from a place of the truth that always has existed from the then and now and hereafter. And so a nigga could try to infuse all that other shit, but that shit is literally it ain't even what it is. It's an elemental, And so that's how I really, and I mean, I said that to say, bro, for those that see you on the other side, they don't see you as the street nigga that once was in that little timeline or storyline or what that was, especially when you can see them right now where they at. So how can you identify them in your consciousness? Like, yeah, nigga, I'm God, I see you. You know what I'm talking about? Ain't no fucking way. So I say that to say it just only maybe it brings more light to the journey as far as in what one do or in the foregoing of it. Let's say why a nigga do what a nigga do, why a nigga even did what a nigga did. You see what I'm saying? And I feel that that's where more of the purpose could come in at, in a sense of a compliment, because you're not who you was yesterday or who you was in those spaces and times. So to identify with it is redundant, or it could be because it's like, nigga, even if the niggas today that was there in that timeline the dimension still there, they have to address you different. Just like my niggas, nigga, man, what my niggas in the underworld, which I love very dearly, nigga. Nigga, when they see me, they love it, nigga. They know what them niggas they know. They like, it must be heaven, nigga. And so, and it's not that they have to say any of this.
I know what you mean.
Anything. It's just the understanding of, I know, bro, and I know where he at. I get it. You know what I mean? It may not be for me, and it may not be. I'm not to follow anything that a nigga do. But the open space between, let's say time not being real. So a nigga could deny a nigga like, nah, you don't deserve this shit. You don't get it. You know what I mean? You ain't bigger than the program. All the shit, right? To a nigga who wasn't even trying to get it. This nigga bump his head, come back, outdo you in your consciousness and how you sitting the fuck down as student, because he already had it inside of him, whether he knew it or not. So I always kind of feel that it's a scheduled programming or something inside the body that takes place for people, the right people that's meant for it, because they've always been able to keep up themselves. And that's a simple thing, just on the, let's say, the war aspect of like the mind body, so on some shit like what Bobby Hemmett talk about, empty mind for a house, but I even
for a house,
on
empty
that
mind.
If you have a healthy mind, you know what I'm saying, then all the shit inside of your pantry and all the shit that, everything inside of your heart, let's say, whenever you drink a peach soda or whenever you smoke some tobacco or whatever you do that to a human is like damaging, or you gonna get a hole in your throat smoking cigarettes, all this shit. If you could remove those concepts and layers and ideas and images subconsciously, you then alter the experience.
Bobby Hemmett said he freed it. He healed himself with peach soda. Damn, you went out, bro. Damn, you went out again.
I did disappeared.
Yeah, you did disappear.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you good, but you disappeared on us.
Buffer this some more shit.
Damn, now you breaking up. You probably gotta leave. You probably gotta leave out and come back in again, bro. I'll hold the space for you. And with that, what I'm just saying. You see what I'm saying? Like when I'm smoking this, and like, nigga, you think I'm thinking about I'm gonna fucking die and get what's the name lungs, and like that's not my, like, I'm not there's no fear going on around me. The only thing I can think about is me spending so much goddamn money on these vapes. And then, like, people will come in the chat like, no, your body is, you got a body, and this, you're supposed to do this with the body, and the body is this. Like, bro, nigga, You talking about shit that nigga been expounded on. You saying something so revolutionary. Like this shit just goddamn, oh my God. Like, I know that I'm not the body and the mind. And I know that the body has to go through what it goes through. I'm not ignorant of that shit. I'm not ignorant of that shit. But I have programmed my world with this here. The obstacle remover. The remover of obstacles. No way. No obstacles will apprehend you. That's the programming. That's the name of this dream. That's the name of this movie. That is the program. And I'm not bigger than it. I am it. I am it. I am the program. The program that I am is no obstacles will apprehend me. That's what this is. Like, that's the name of this dream. That's the name that I have given to the title of this illusion. Everything works in my motherfucking favor. I don't give a fuck what it is. Everything works in my favor. That's the program. Whether you believe it or not, whether you believe everybody's doing something to you, whether you believe the word is doing something to you, whether you believe you can save the goddamn world. That's up to you. You make that choice and you live by that programming. But what a nigga talk about over here, and obviously what you see what God is 7-7 is talking about, what you hear about what Trav is talking about, nigga, we dealing with self and having our own programming outside of the natural or the whatever programming. Damn, you went out again, bro. You might have to come back in again. I don't know what the fuck that's about. And this is why I fought with niggas like these, who I just named, because they're talking about going back to self. Ain't nobody talking about doing all this shit out here in the outside world. We talking about doing all this shit right here on the inners, on you in the innards, nigga. We in the innards. Get in your own innards, nigga. Get in your own innards, fuck, nigga. Get in your own innards. That's what type of time we pushing. Oh, Trav said he just got that goddamn Ganesh. Just got that Ganesh gang. You know what I'm saying? Like nigga ain't even really gotta you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like nigga ain't even gotta do that. Like, but we tapped in like that. You know what I'm saying? We move around with no obstacles. There are no obstacles. Why? Because there are no fucking enemies. What enemy? Who is stopping me? Who is against me? What they say, if God is with me, who can be against me? Because God is everything. So who the fuck can be against me? If God is with me, if the P is with me, if consciousness is with me, if Brahman is with me, if the self is with me, if all of that is with me, who the fuck can be against me? There's no one who can be against me. There cannot be an enemy. That's why no weapon formed against me shall prosper. Because there is no weapons. What weapon? It's just me. It's just the mind creating the illusion of something
Man,
that won't stop me. Because it's not. You back in, bro. You sound good too.
man, I've been. This is the shit I be talking about. That phone and internet, man. This
Yeah, I
shit
know,
crazy.
bro. My shit be
But
doing the
that's
same
why I
shit.
fuck with the computer. But this shit, I don't know, the airdrop from the phone of this motherfucker wasn't even working. So I'm like, fuck me, just go live on here. But yeah, bro. Shit. One thing I'll say, is in the knowing and all this shit, or even I say to know, I feel that it requires a great sense of accountability. Like
Yeah.
okay, for everything you learn, for everything you know or able to know, or what I'm saying, take account for, there's certain accountability. So
I'm finna
I'm
grab some
saying that to
water. Hold on.
say,
Keep going.
I'm saying, okay, well, let me just kind of, I guess, reiterate. When it comes to
Damn, did he freeze again? Gong napate nama. Fuck, he froze again, bro. Gotta get him back on here. We got about 15 minutes left. God damn, I broke my fucking headphones. Hope y'all been enjoying this, man. I'm gonna try to do this more for those who willing to come on. Try to do this more for those who've been willing to come on, bro. It ain't just about sitting up here looking at this handsome face, talk. You know what I'm saying? This non-dual shit. It's like, let's have a discussion. If we could, we can have multiple people on here. Trav then already confirmed that he down to do one. So me and Trav gonna get up here. You know what I'm saying? And if y'all willing to be down with it, goddamn it, y'all know how to contact me. It's very simple. Very simple. So I want to bring more people onto this motherfucker, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? They got to be a big community, but you know, a community well enough deserved. Like, we can all hop on this motherfucker and build. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's what a nigga trying to have going on here. We got like minds and we got like I don't know. We ain't no different. You know what I'm saying? That's what ultimately all this shit is, bro. It really ain't no difference. So that's why I brought this guy, the self. God damn, his shit did it again. It did it again, bro.
Damn,
Did it.
bro.
It did it again, bro. It did it again, bro. I say try it one more time, and if not, shit, we gonna do this shit again. We'll set up a whole nother date and do this shit again, bro. Like, this shit ain't stopping shit. Cause I ain't gonna lie, you been flowing this whole goddamn time. Everybody fucking with. And I dropped his what's the name in the bot in the comments. It should be pinned. It should be pinned in the comments. His YouTube. So if y'all seeing it, definitely subscribe to my dog. Or put GODDY 777 in YouTube. Or Ghetto Physics 777 on YouTube. Please follow my guy. And as you can see, Trav want a price for a motherfucking show. He said the price I want for a show gonna need 3 promoters. So I'm gonna need y'all to donate to me so I can get Travis Majors on this motherfucking live stream.
Man, bro, this is crazy, bro.
No,
But
that shit is. Go ahead.
all right, bro. What I wanted to say was that based on like, okay, when it comes to aspiring, knowing, and like awareness, consciousness, all that shit like that, like I feel, of course, that's a choice in itself. But what it come with, like the territory of it is, and the big thing I feel is overlooked is the accountability of that one is knowing, or let's say one is the knower and the knowing. You feel what I'm saying?
Yes.
So as
Yeah.
let's say embodying pure awareness or act.
God damn it. Damn, it froze again. Since Trav said donate, nigga, donate. Donate, nigga. That's the cash out. You know, show some love or not. Showing up here is showing up enough love. So I ain't really tripping on that. But support those who keep the flame lit. Boom. Support those who keep the flame lit, y'all. But yeah, I love this shit, man. I love this shit right here, bro. I love this shit right here. You know what I'm saying? So what the fuck else do I say? Let's see, can we get him back on this motherfucker? Let's see. All right. Look at Siri trying to listen to. I'm not talking to you.
Yo,
We can hear you, bro.
speaking at 100%. I'm a cut. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can't hear you. That's why. What?
Oh shit.
Sure thing.
I can hear you. You coming through clear. Video coming through clear and everything. Yeah, I never read that, Travis Harris. Never read that. But hopefully you've been catching our book reads that we've been having. Our book reads right now we currently reading is Be As You Are by Ramana Maharashi. That's a powerful book read that we got.
Damn, they horn me right now.
It's still doing it again. You can't hear me? You can't hear me?
I can't even.
All right, I'm finna call you, Brody. I'm finna call him, y'all. Hold up. I'm finna call him. We just gonna have to set up another
If you
date.
can hear me, I can hear you. That's all. I don't
I
know
can.
what the fuck. I'm trying to
You
fix
can
it
hear
on my
me.
end.
You can hear me now. Whoever Julius is, appreciate you for sending me something on over. That's love. That's love. That's love. Appreciate that. Salute to you for showing that support. Showing that support, bro. Damn, this shit won't even call out. I'm gonna let him say some closing remarks as well. Hold up. That shit won't even call him. Damn. Okay. Okay, yeah, nah, that's a good one, Trav. Yo, Brody, I think what we're gonna do is we'll just run it back on another date. I got you on speakerphone, so if you did want to leave some closing remarks, tell them folks to follow you or whatever you wanted to say, bro, we're gonna go on and wrap it up, and we'll just do another date, bro. They fucking with it, I'm fucking with it. It flowed like exactly how I thought it would.
I bet. No, it ain't no pressure shit. I mean, I just didn't know where niggas was at in dialogue. So really, ain't no pressure on none of that. We can run it back smooth on a better day, on a way better day, way better schedule. I agree with that for sure. And if they can hear me right now,
yeah, they can hear you. Hold up, Trav. I'm gonna put his YouTube back inside of the channel, y'all. Hold up. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead and run it though.
First and foremost, I just want to say gratitude and thank you to everybody who tuned in to my boy No Way Show and then tapping in, with me on as far, coming from this West Side. I want to say thank you to my man No Way for opening the way for real. And just, let me come speak my piece and, come kick shit just with the collective. And for real, just want to say gratitude on that end. And regarding, any contact or, y'all want to tap in and, connect with me, y'all can holler at me on Instagram at Chief Westside 7. And I do have my Patreon that I will be promoting, and I'll be putting that out. But right now, on my YouTube is Ghetto Physics 777, or you can just type in Gotti 777, which is GODDY 777. And overall, I just want to say thank you to everybody who who had an ear to hear and who was able to receive. For real. I ain't gonna hold it. For real. Much love.
Much love, brother. I just dropped your YouTube in there again, and I'm gonna put as I go back, I'm gonna put everything that you just said inside the description as soon as I end the video, brody. So gratitude for having you on this motherfucker too, bro. Real shit, bro. It was a blessing, brody. We're gonna do this shit again. You did?
Real shit, bro. It's on.
All right, that's a bit, brody.
All right, one love.
Love. So as y'all can see, I just put this shit back inside of the chat. I just pinned it again in the chat. And I appreciate y'all for showing up. Yeah, Travis Harris, that's a goddamn that's a powerful one that you tapped into. I put it back in there though, Trav. I appreciate y'all for showing up though, man. As always, man, drop them SOPs in the chat. Hit that like button, share this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Do what it do. Do what it do. Donate to a nigga so I can pay Travis Mays to come onto the goddamn channel, which we shall do. As always, remember, no obstacles will apprehend you. There are no obstacles that will apprehend you. Prosper over pain. That obstacle is just an opportunity for you to go into observer mode and observe as the self. It's just an opportunity for you to realize the self. This is about self-realization. Can run from it however far long you want to, but it's gonna come. And remember, it's SO motherfucking P. That's our standard operating procedure because we standing on purpose and we standing on principle. Much love, peace, and hair grease from the dirty South to the Middle East. Bitch.